Hey, what's up, people? I hope you're really excited for this amazing series we are gonna start today. But before we get into the code, I want to talk about a few things like front end, back end, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node.js, MongoDB server, database. What the heck is that? So, first thing first, front end and back end. Well, whatever you see is front end, and whatever you don't see in a website is back end. Well, but that doesn't make any sense, right? So, basically, whatever you can see, like the looks, the structure, how a website looks, what should happen when you click a button, how it should react, all the design part and a bit interaction, that's front end. Okay, and all the business logic like handling payment, handling user, handling database, that come under backend. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So if you have ever like searched for web development, learning web development, you would have encountered these three terms. Well, these three are the pillar of web development. On front end, you cannot use anything except these three. Wait, till now. Let's say you are uh, sketching. Okay, yeah, you're painting. Okay, so when you will draw the outlines of your character or anything, that's HTML. HTML is just a structure. Yeah, it will help you define the structure of a web page, like what should be the header, what should go inside the header, what should be the body, and all that. Next, CSS. CSS is styling. Like you have drawn your character, now you want to paint it. That's CSS. And JavaScript is basically gives you functionality, interactivity to your web page. Okay, I'm running out of examples. So let's say you want to animate your character. Okay, you cannot do that on a piece of paper, right? You have to move their hands, legs, and whatnot. So that is programming. HTML, CSS are not programming languages. They are just, well, HTML is a structure language, markup language, and CSS is styling language. JavaScript is a programming language. You can program your web pages, and that is really cool. We'll see that in a few videos from now. Version control. I wanted to talk about version control also. So basically version control is like a tool which helps you time travel, but only in past. Okay, so basically, as the name suggests, obviously you can control your version of the software. This is not only important in web development but any software development field. Okay, the most commonly used tool is Git, and GitHub is just a front end for Git, where we can host our project file and share with other people. So GitHub helps us that, but Git helps us control the version of our uh, project, and we'll see that as we go through. First of all, you should have Git installed, a code editor, which I will be using VS Code, so that would be good if you install it. And for now, let's just keep these two. Okay, if you haven't installed it yet, please go and install, and I will see you in the, well, laptop. By this time, I hope you have installed VS Code and Git in your machines. So now let's start. First, I want you to make a folder. Um, you can name it anything. I'm gonna name it WebDevYT, and open it with your code editor. In my case, VS Code. I get this option, open with code. If you don't get this, you can open VS Code, and then simply go to open folder and select your folder. Well, I have this open. Now here is here will be your list of folders and files. Like we can make HTML, and we can make inside it index.html, and it should be there. Okay, now we can control our file system from here. Okay, so but I want you to do it with terminal. Okay, you can open the terminal with this and this. Okay, and you can also use the shortcut control plus backticks or something. Okay, you can find it above the tab key on your keyboard, control plus backticks. Okay, now to make a folder you have to write mkdir. By the way, wait, you might have PowerShell as your terminal, like which should look like, wait a second, which should look like this, but I want you to make git bash your default shell. Just select this and select git bash. Okay, now in the git bash shell, here will be your username or name, here will be your PC name, here will be your, I don't know, something, maybe MinGW64 only, and this is your folder path which you are currently in. If you will type pwd, that stands for print working directory, you will see this. Okay, now by the way, I did that with control plus L to clear the terminal. Okay, now let's see a few basic commands, terminal commands. Okay, this will just make your life easier. To make a directory like I did with this button, I'll say mkdir html. Okay, this created a folder. This obviously stands for make directory. Now if I want to go inside that directory, I'll type cd, which stands for change directory, and go inside, write the folder name to go inside. Okay, now you can see the path name is now inside webdev.it html. Okay, we can now, if we want to create a file, we can use the command touch index.html, and we can see there will be a file created, index.html. Now we can list all the files, like let's create a few more. Touch style.css, touch script.js. If you don't know any of these, it's okay, probably you will know because I use them a lot. CSS, HTML, JS stands for JavaScript, but all will be discussed, so don't worry. Okay, now we have 3 files. So now let's say we don't have this. Okay, what just happened? Let's say we don't have this list of our file tree. So if you want to see how what files we have in this particular folder, our working directory, we can just type ls, which stands for, I guess, list. So we have 3 files: HTML, index.html, script.js, and style.css. Okay, now to go back to the webdev.it, we can type cd ... Basically stands for one directory up. Okay, so now we are outside the HTML directory and back to our webdev.it. Now that was the basic of terminal. Now I want you to set up your git, yeah, just configure git. Okay, so type git configure, oh sorry, git config dash dash default, wait, dash dash global user dot name, and type your name between the quotes. Hit enter, and if you want to go up, use the previous command, you can press the up arrow key and it will show you the previous command. The next command is same, we just have to modify your name to email and type out business@gmail.com. Type out our email between the quotes. Okay, hit enter and the git is configured. Now I want you to initialize a git repository. What's that? Well, repository basically, as I said before, GitHub Git is a version control tool, okay, but it cannot control version of everything on our machine, right? That would be, well, basically privacy breach. Yeah, so that's why we have to tell Git that I want you to watch for this folder and watch every change I make in this. Okay, that's why we'll initialize a repository which will be our web dev yt. Okay, git init, just git init. Okay, you can see initialized empty git repository in R, and now you can see all the pages have been, in green color and a little U is there. Well, basically these are untracked. Okay, untracked is basically, I don't know, let's Google for it. Okay, what is untracked files in Git? In short, tracked files are files that Git knows about, and tracked files are everything else. Well, basically these are new files. We haven't told Git to look out for them. Okay, so we have to add them, but we don't need these files. So let's remove it first, and I want to do it with the terminal. Well, let's go inside the HTML folder and rm style.css. It removed it, and also rm script.js also removed it. Now we would just be doing HTML in this video, so that's why we will just add HTML. Wait, let's just type git status first. Okay, so git status tells us which branch are we on. Branch, I'll tell you. We haven't made any commits. I'll tell you. And untracked files I told you. So HTML folder is not yet being tracked, so let's add it. -a means every file will be added. Okay, and here we have just HTML, so we can do either this or this, anything is fine. Now if we check git status, it's green and it shows new, there is a new file index.html, and if we see here, the icon have become a, index added. You can see the tooltip. Yeah. Okay, now a few things. Branch, master branch. Okay, so branching, basically there's a concept in Git that we can add multiple branches, we can work on them independently and then merge to the master branch. Well, that's a little advanced concept, and we might not go through go to it in this series, and maybe in the future I'll make a separate video on version control, then we can deal with it. Okay, but for the this series we are not going to talk about it. Next, commit. Okay, that we have to talk. Well, commit are basically how I explain this. Okay, so remember I told you Git is like a time machine. We can undo our changes, we can go back in time with our code obviously. So commits, using commits we make those points where we can go, okay, in the past obviously of the code. Do you get that? Okay, let's just make commit. Okay, our first commit needs a message so that we can, you know, check, identify each commit, because there are encrypted codes, hash code or SHA something. Okay, so that's pretty encrypted number wise, so you need to give some message so that you can identify your commit. Okay, initialized the Git repo and added first index.html file. Let's hit enter, and our commit is successful. Okay, now let's see git logs, I guess. Oh sorry, git log. Okay, now git log will give us a list of all the commits. You see, this is the first commit, this is the only commit we have made. The commit has this long you know, key or ID you can say, and who made this commit, his email, when was the commit made, and obviously commit message. This is how we will you know, recognize all the commits. So that's why message is really important. Anyhow, this was all about Git. Now let's move to HTML. Yeah, HTML. So the first line of HTML is doctype. Doctype HTML. What does this? Well, this basically tells HTML well, a few properties about HTML. Like this is the latest HTML5 version. Okay, before we have to give the version name or something like really long, you know, but HTML5 we just have to write doctype HTML to tell the browser what is its file type. Okay, now HTML structure is like this. You know the trees, right? They have root, then they go up and branch in different branches. Yeah, in computer science we have the inverted trees. Okay, so there is root at the top and then they become branches, like wait, MS Paint. Okay, so here we have root HTML. Oh god, HTML. Then this divides into two branches. This one's head. Okay, really lousy one. This one's, I don't know, body. Okay, then this may branch into several you know, several things like metadata, title, and maybe connecting different files like JavaScript, CSS, many things. Basically this part won't show on the web page. This part just contains the information about the HTML document. Okay, and this part contains all the body, as the name suggests, all the body of the HTML, and which we will see on the web page. like header, like footer, like different sections, articles, paragraph, header. I told header before, right? Heading and whatnot. Everything, everything, everything. Whatever we will see will be inside this body. Okay. So I don't want to save this. Okay. Now, what are tags? Basically, tag. Basically, tags are names between fixed names. Obviously, they are already defined between the angular bracket. Okay, head here or all the information about the web page will go, and they are body. This will be shown on the web page. Cool. Okay, now tags are basically the words which we have written between the angular brackets. Okay, some of the tags are container, like head, body and HTML. They have an opening tag and a closing tag, and these are container because they contain different tags between themselves. Yeah, actually in HTML is all about tags. Okay, everything here is tag. Like if we have to uh, show a paragraph, we have a tag for this, that's P. This is a paragraph, and there's heading tag, and that goes, this is the most awesome heading. Okay, then we have some empty tags which do not contain any other tags, like title. Oh wait, title is a container tag. We have different, like HR tag, horizontal rule. Okay, so there's a good HTML. Okay, what this title does, what this heading does, we will see in just a bit. I want to talk about empty tag for a bit. These do not contain any closing tag because they don't contain other elements inside them. Now you just need to give a slash to say that it's empty within same tag. Like we are ending every tag with a slash, you have to end this. You don't have to, but it's a good practice to end it. Okay, now let's see what this does, what this code does. Okay, you can either go to your folder and double click on it to open it. This is what does. The title is shown here, HTML tutorial, you can see, and the heading, obviously because it was in the body, this goes inside the body. And I said the the things inside the head doesn't show inside the web page. It's just information about the web page or website, whatever you can say. Hey, good job on completing the very first video of this series, and hope you liked it. Guys, today you learned some really great things like version control, executing basic terminal commands. These two will make your life very smooth as a developer, I promise. Well, this series isn't exactly about them, but I thought it's necessary to know and use them. Anyways, moving on, you learned about the structure of an HTML document, what are tags, which I still don't know how to explain in word. Uh, we learned about closed and empty tags and how we write paragraph heading and give horizontal rule. In the next video, we'll learn about more tags. We'll see some semantic tags and block and inline elements. Basically, elements and tags are the same. We'll see how to add an image in your web page and all that cool stuff. So make sure you watch it again at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Now, if you think this wasn't enough, which you should, then let me give you some homework. Do some research, okay? Find out what is the significance of HTML. Index.html. I mean, why index? Okay? And also create a document and check if body tag alone can work. I mean, without doc type HTML tag and without head tag. Just body tag and inside it heading, paragraph. And if you want to research, you can search for some more tags and add them. And DM your answers on Instagram at Urban Codes. You should know that, by the way. Or post a story tagging me so I can reshare it on my story. And let's see. Also, if you have any question from today's video, comment down below or DM me on Instagram at Urban Codes. You should know this. So, okay then. Till tomorrow. Bye bye.